Hi, in this session we will be discussing something about posting changes. So this is the objective of this session. In this session we will discuss how changes to stock characteristics are mapped in the warehouse management. So we will be discussing how exactly the changes that happen in IM are taken ahead in WM with post change notices. So something about posting changes. Generally, decisions to change a certain material quantity are made in inventory management. This can be a change to the stock type, special stock assignment, material number, or batch number. This kind of change is entered as a posting change in inventory management in SAP R3. If a plant or storage location combination that is linked to a warehouse number is affected by a posting change, the system has to then be told where the changed material quantity is, that is, which bin stocks are affected. So as we have seen in the past examples, some of the examples which we did for posting changes, if you are doing a posting change to a stock at an IM level, it is pretty straightforward and the system would make the necessary posting changes to the quantity of stock that you have chosen during the creation of the material document. But when the same information goes ahead at a WM level, the system needs to be told what bin or what quant exactly you would want to change. So that is a reason sometimes we would have to manually process the transfer orders, convert the PCN into transfer orders, and during the creation of the transfer orders we would choose the exact bin and the quantity in the bin that needs to be converted or processed for the posting change that is posted at an IM level. This also needs some settings in the storage type, especially the mixed storage type. If you allow the mixed storage type and if you want to keep the stock, the Q stock in the same storage bin in that storage type, then you would have to allow mixed storage in that particular storage type, without which the system would not allow you to change the stock status of the material. So this is a schematic representation of posting changes, so how things happen and how the information flows. So this is the IM part, and we are posting a change for material from unrestricted to block stock. So let's assume that this is 100 pieces of material C8. So here in the post change area, that is storage type 922, which is a virtual area, which does not physically exist. Here the system would post a negative quant of 100 pieces, that is the status of the material before the posting change happened over here. At the same time, it would also post 100 numbers with the status of the material just after the posting changes happened. So the system has created a positive quant over here. So the negative quant that has been created is by design, just tells the system that this change that has been posted at an IM level hasn't yet been carried forward at an WM level. So once this post change document is processed, the status of the material changes and becomes similar to this. So when we look at the transfer order for posting changes, we would see that the material has momentarily gone to 922 and then come back again to
the original storage bin.
And it is during this process that while creating of the transfer order, we would manually intervene and suggest the bin from which we would want to change the status of the material, or the quant in which bin we would want to select the quant from and change the status. So let us try to do a post change exercise in the system and see what are the customizing details that we need to take care if we want to allow the post change to happen in the same bin, and how do we process a post change. So here I am in the system. I'm looking at the stock of material 3127, and I would want to post so 25 quantity or maybe even 100 quantity of material into Q stock. So we have 400 and unrestricted, and we have some deliveries created, so that is fine. So I will go to transaction MB1B and I use movement type 322. As we have everything in unrestricted, I would want to post some quantity in restricted. I'm using a movement type 322, which is transfer reversal of quality to unrestricted. So in other words, it means unrestricted to quality. So I choose the material 3127, choose quantity 25. I am purposely choosing 25 so that I would show you an important setting in the storage type, how the system would give you an error while processing this. So I have posted this material document. Now the stock at IM level should show us 25 already posted to quality inspection. This needs to be further processed to at the WM level, but the system doesn't know that out of these 400 which are now currently stocked in different bins, which specific quant to pick up for changing the status to Q stock. So before I process the transfer, the post change notice, just have a look at the storage type 001 wherein the material is currently stored. This does not have a mixed storage selected, and because this does not have a mixed storage selected, the system would not allow you to post the Q stock in the same bin. Let us see how the system gives us an error. So to see a post change notice, we go to transaction LU04 and we select everything that is open. If there are many post change notices that have been created, then you can choose a specific material and a plant here. So I give the selection and I display this for a moment. We can see from the unrestricted to Q quantity 25, and this is going to the interim storage bin. Once I process this, we can see the change that we were discussing in the PowerPoint slide. Let us try to create the transfer order, and the system gives us a quant list. By selecting the quant list, I know now in what bins the materials are. You can see in each bin we have available quantity 100, and if I choose to convert any from any one of these bins and try to process, we get an error: mixed storage is not allowed in storage type 001. So since this is posting in 010101 in the same bin in this storage type, and mixed storage is not allowed. So in case you have a business process which wants to store material, the Q stock material or different stock material or different batches in the same bin, then you need to select this mixed storage and allow mixed storage without limitations. So to process the transfer order, what I will do is I will just allow mixed storage over here and reprocess the same transaction. So here I am once again doing the same process. I select specific quantity. The system is allowed and a transfer order has been created. Now once this transfer order is created, I need to confirm this transfer order. I use a transaction LT12, but before that let us display the transfer order using transaction LT21. So here we can see the Second line, the stock is coming in 922 and then again going to the destination. The movement type is 321. So I will process this transfer order using transaction LT12. So it is normal to see two line items because it momentarily goes to 922 and then comes back. I would save this, and now we can check in transaction LS26. We have in Q stock 25. So we need to first understand the business process, and if mixed storage is allowed, then or we do not estimate exactly the consequences of having mixed storage, this check allowed, then probably we might end up in a case wherein you have the stocks of different material in the same bin, or also the stock categories of the same material like Q stock and block stock or unrestricted stock in the same bin. For some business processes, this is not really allowed, and they would want to have the Q stock in a separate place so as to identify and avoid that stock from being picked by the user accidentally. So we need to make sure what is the business process and accordingly set the mixed storage type setting in the storage types. Now we have seen that the post change that takes place at an IAM level, how we process it with user intervention, and we need to tell the system that the quant that we want to process lies in a specific bin. So if we want a different solution, or if we want to approach to this in a different way because of the business processes, we have a reverse way of doing this. So the main disadvantage in the earlier process was that you process the post change at an IAM at a WM level at a different time. It doesn't happen automatically. You would have to manually do it, and the stock status at an IAM level and at a WM level will not be in sync at any given point in time till the time we process the PCN. So for certain posting changes, you can invert the normal post change process by first entering the posting change for individual bins in the warehouse management. The inventory management posting always occurs in the background immediately after the change has been made. So in case we have a business process, and if we have a business requirement that we would want the system to process the stock category or the stock change immediately, then you can consider a solution wherein you would post the posting change in the WM level first, and which would automatically be carried to the IAM level. So let us see this customizing, which is an important solution in post change. So for this, what we need to do is we would create a duplicate movement types to the transaction or to the movement type that you would want the post change to do. So for example, if you know that you have a business process to change the stock status from quality to unrestricted and unrestricted to quality, or unrestricted to block or block to unrestricted, something of that sort. So you know the movement type, then you can copy a standard template of a movement type 309 and make the customizing setting in the node for post change confirmation. Let us see this in the system. So here I am in SPRO, logistics execution, warehouse management, and we have these nodes that are important. We create the movement types and define movement types here under activities, and then we define the posting change. So let us start with creating a movement type. Let us say that we would want to create a posting change definition for changing the stock status from Q to unrestricted and from unrestricted to Q. So I would define a movement type, a custom movement type for my process. I will go to S01, my warehouse, and movement type 309. So this is a general post change, general movement type, and I will copy this. I will change this to 921 post change S01. Okay, and since we are going to start our transaction from WM first, I would remove the manual TO creation not allowed, because this will come in the way of our processing. So I have created one movement type for a duplicate of 321, and similarly I will have to create a movement type for duplicate of 322, because it is recommended that you always have the forward and the reversal movement type created together. So I have created a 921, which I'm going to use in place of 321, and I will again copy this 921 and create and no manual. We have removed the tick for manual TO creation allowed. I think I can write a good description over here. This is TF this is TR, and similarly I would TF, transfer from quality to unrestricted. So once I have created these two movement types, let us go to interfaces, inventory management, and define posting change. Here we will define the posting change which we are going to use for our posting of change from the WM side. So I would create a new entry, and what we need to do here is I would create an entry for S01, and I would give the movement type 921 that we created here, and this would be the normal movement type, the normal movement type of inventory management. This is the stock category at the source, and this is the stock category at the destination. So 321 is supposed to do a transfer posting from Q to unrestricted. So the source will be Q and the destination will be unrestricted. I create S01, one more movement type for 922, which will be a reversal of 322. Here the destination will be Q, because we know that 322 is transfer reversal from quality to unrestricted, meaning this is unrestricted to quality. So the source is unrestricted and it goes to quality stock. So this is similar to what we have in 321 and 322. So now we have created our movement types, and we have assigned them to the IM movement types. This specific stock category is important. I save this. Let us try to create a transfer posting from the WM side to the IM side. So at an IM level, this is the stock status. We have already posted 25 in quality stock in our previous exercise. Let us try to bring this 25 into unrestricted stock. So meaning we are going to use a movement type 921 from a WM, which is mapped to 321, that is quality to unrestricted at an IM side. So when we do the transaction at a WM level, we need to know exactly the bin in which the quant is available right now. So this is the basic premise that we are aware of the bin from which we want to change the stock. So the bin is 010101 and it is in Q stock, and we have 25, and we want to change the stock status of this particular quant. So to change the stock status from WM level to IM level, we use a transaction LQ02, and here I give all the details from where to pick this stock, the storage bin. I choose the movement type 921, which is going to make my quality stock to unrestricted. I give the material, the plant, and the storage location. So I give everything. All the details should be known here itself. Now I go ahead and the system finds the quant. Now if I choose and pose the change over here, this is gone, and now let us see immediately the status of the material at IM level. I just refresh this. Now you can see the posting at an IM level has happened in the background itself. So in some business cases, this is a very convenient way of doing the stock status change, or initiating the stock status change at a WM level and then let the system do it at the IM level. We would need to do the settings that we just saw, depending upon what all stock categories we would anticipate and how the process is designed. So this was the two important ways in which we would do the post change processing. One is from the IM level and one is from the WM level.